Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with Ecom Sellers. And this is our weekly ecom planning session. We do this every Saturday, typically earlier than this. But my awesome son seems to be my alarm gremlin. So since school's been out, he's really been making my life a little more interesting than I needed for it to be. In any case, this is your weekly ecom planning session where we go over making plans and taking action steps to be successful next week in our e-commerce business. Next week will be our first full week of June, so I'm looking forward to that. And June is always a great time to turn your business around, to make some decisions and take some action steps that can actually change the trajectory of your business in quarter three. So this is the end of quarter two. We want to finish quarter two strong this month of June. And during the weekly ecom planning session, we kind of go over what are those action steps that we need to take. So we are live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And if this is helpful to you, please share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the weekly ecom planning session. You can also join us for the daily ecom planning session every morning at around 7:15 a.m. And normally the weekly ecom planning session, like I said, is earlier than this. We do the monthly ecom planning session the last Sunday of every month at 7 a.m. And so you're welcome to join us as we plan for July success. Uh-oh. So, with that being said, you can download the weekly ecom planning checklist in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. You can go to the files section and download the checklist there. In addition to that, you can grab the My Ecom Planner. We have the digital version. It's on sale at 40% off. You can go to myecomplanner.com. Again, myecomplanner.com. Grab the digital ecom planner there for 40% off and save. Big, you can also get the physical planner as well. And last but not least, if you need some help, support, some assistance on your journey as an e-commerce seller, you need someone to help you to get a little more organized, a little more focused, a little more consistent in your business, you're more than welcome to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session with me. You can go to ecomsellers.com, click on freebies, and schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. Again, ecom sellers, ECOM, sellers, SELLERS.com, and schedule a free 20-minute coaching session there. I am more than happy to help you on your e-commerce journey. So with that, go grab the download the weekly planning session and our weekly planning checklist. And now we're going to go through that checklist. So the checklist has several action steps that we are going to take so that we can build our business success that first full week in June, which is going to count. Because again, we're wrapping up quarter two. We're going into quarter three, and quarter three is laying. Quarter two sort of lays the foundation for quarter four, but quarter three is really where there's a lot of action that needs to be taken to make sure you're ready for quarter four. So, in the weekly planning checklist, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to build our weekly guide, our weekly template. If you have never built a weekly guide or template, you can grab a notebook if you want. But I would strongly recommend that there's two different ways you can do this. You can actually fill in the weekly planning template inside of your My E-commerce planner or My Ecom planner. So if you grab the digital version, there's a section there to do it. Or you can open up a Google Sheet. Google Sheets are awesome because one, they are online. You can access them from anywhere. So if you're building your weekly template using a Google Sheet, that's an easy way for you to be able to access it anytime, anywhere. You can edit it from your mobile device. You just go ahead and install Google Drive, or you can install directly Google Sheets, download it from the App Store, and use that as your template for building out your weekly template. Now, why do we need a weekly template? It's going to be our guide for all the action steps and activities we're going to take in our business, regardless of our e-commerce method. Every seller, doesn't matter if you're selling on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Shopify, Walmart, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, Poshmark, every seller has some basic activities that they all do. And it doesn't matter what your e-commerce method is. It doesn't matter if you're doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, private label, white label, drop shipping, print on demand, wholesale, liquidation pallets. It doesn't matter. Everyone does these basic 5, 6 things. One, we're all creating listings. Okay. Everybody's creating listings on some platform somewhere. whether it's on their own store or on a platform, a marketplace platform. We're all creating listings. Okay. All of us are getting our inventory shipped to our customer, whether we're physically doing it ourselves, we're have an automated process or an integration of some method. Inventory is being shipped to a customer somehow. Otherwise, we wouldn't make money. If the customers don't receive the inventory, somebody's got to issue a refund. So we're all shipping something to someone using some method. Okay. And we are all doing some level of product research. Some of it may be shallow product research, really high level, quick, fast, and dirty. Some of it may be deep product research because you're looking for a long term, sustainable product that you can sell that's going to be in high demand. So we're all doing some level of product research, and all of us are doing some level of sourcing. We're getting our inventory from somewhere, wherever we're getting it from. Again, every e-commerce method is getting their inventory from somewhere. We're not just selling bottled air. I mean, you might be selling bottled air. I know that might be magical, but we're all doing those things. And then last but not least, all e-commerce sellers have some level of customer service or some level of customer support. We all have that. Like, we're all responding to questions. We're all dealing with refunds, returns, and reviews. We're all doing that. So this applies to all e-commerce sellers. So what we're going to do is lay the foundation for us to have a successful week next week. So the first thing is, again, building that. Step one of this journey is to build that weekly template. The weekly template is going to, again, give us the guide for all the action steps we're going to take. So when you build the weekly template, if you decide to use a Google Sheet, which I love Google Sheets, you're going to actually have two folder tabs. So the way that you get to Google Sheets, if you happen to be on your computer right now, and you have a Gmail account, next to your initials, on the upper right-hand corner is 9 dots. I call it the Rubik's Cube. You want to click on the Rubik's Cube, the 9 dots, and then once you do that, if you're inside your Gmail account, you'll see an option for Drive. You click on Drive, and once you click on Drive, you'll go on to the right-hand side, upper right-hand side, you'll see a big giant plus. You click on that plus, and you'll see an option for Sheets. Sheets are very similar to Excel. And so with Google Sheets, you'll be able to create columns and with data in them and rows with data in them. So once you get your Google Sheet out, or if you decide to get a notebook, you can use that. We're going to actually start creating some columns. So open up a Google Sheet or get your notebook out. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a brain dump. Now, what's going to be in that brain dump? The brain dump, if you've never built a template before, are the things that you already do in your business every single week, things that you already do and when you do them. So if you already source on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you normally source around 8 o'clock in the morning, that's something you already do. So your first column is stuff that you already do. You can label the top of that column. These are things I already do. Make sure you have at least 2 spaces of blank columns next to that. And write down in there sourcing, and I do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the next thing that you already do in your business. So if you already like create listings, I don't know, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, then you'll write down list products, listings, create listings. And then you'll put down Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday in the column or the row next to it. Okay. So keep going through and just doing a brain dump of things that you already do in your business naturally, organically, every single week. Why do we do that? Because when we build out this template, we want to build a template that's sustainable, something that we can continue to do no matter what. If we don't build a template schedule that is sustainable, that means that we're going to be going against the grain, and that may not be a schedule that you're going to actually long-term sustain. You're going to quit. You're going to say it's too hard, it's too difficult, and it's going to be too regimented for you. So if there's things that you've been running your e-commerce business and there are things that you're already doing, start with that first, so that way you can build a natural and organic schedule that flows with how your life is right now, if it is serving you well. Now, if your current schedule that you're engaging in or things that you already do that you're not really paying attention that you do, if they're not serving you well, you're not really making any progress, you're not gaining any traction, you're not making any money, still write it down. We are probably going to revisit those things. So if it's not serving you well, or you feel like where I do it and when I do this activity is not really serving me well, I probably should revisit that. Put a little star next to it. So then that way you have the opportunity to make adjustments or corrections to it as we build out the rest of the schedule. Okay. So write down the things you already do. The other thing I want you to do is as you're thinking about the things you already do, also think about the things that have nothing to do with your e-commerce business. Because when I am working with people on building schedules to help them to increase their productivity, help them be a little more organized, a little more focused, I also incorporate aspects of their personal life. So the reason that we do that is because, again, God has blessed all of us with so many hours every single day for sleeping, and there was so many hours every single day of awake time. So if your awake time is anywhere from 19 to 16 hours of awake hours, and your sleep time is, anywhere from 5 to 8 hours of sleep time, then, what are you doing with that 19 hours or to 16 hours? What are you doing with that time? And all of that time is not spent on your e-commerce business. You're balancing that with family and other activities. So if one of the things you already do is you get up every single morning and you meditate, you read your Bible, then write that down. This is something I already do. This is already reserved time that is something that brings you pleasure or helps you have peace in your life and it's serving you well. Write it down because we don't want to touch that. We don't want to impact that time. We want to make sure that time stays reserved. If you go to Bible study on Wednesdays, or go to church on Sundays, we want to write that down. If you always go grocery shopping every Saturday, I don't know, Saturday morning, write that down. Those are blocks of time that we don't want to touch. We don't want to impact if you feel like they're serving you well. It's a habit or a routine that works well in your life and it helps you to balance everything else. Because again, we all got to eat, okay? So if going to the grocery store on Saturday works for you, we're not trying to impact the flow of what you naturally do. Whenever you're trying to change something and you don't really gradually get it and gradually slide into that new routine, then what's going to happen is your body's going to fight it. An example would be every single New Year's. Everyone makes New Year's resolutions. I won't say everyone. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions. And you'll find that after a period of time, they fall off. The reason that they fall off is because their body, their whole mindset, everything about whatever it is they're trying to implement, it was not ready. They were not ready. When an opportunity for them to break that cycle, break that routine presented itself. Oh, the kids are sick, so I'm just not going to go to the gym today. Oh, okay. Then they just found it easier and easier to continue to accept or embrace excuses as to why they didn't have to do or work on this new habit or routine that they're trying to implement. So what we're trying to do is not make so many drastic changes in your life that it causes you to find excuses easily and to slide in and accept those excuses and embrace them, and then you fall off your game. If your goal is to get to $1 million seller, I want to help you do that. And so building a schedule, building a routine, taking intentional action every single week will actually help you get closer to being $1 million seller than you can ever believe. It is the productivity, increased productivity and focus and consistency will help you get there. Focused on the right activities at the right time and being consistent about it. That's going to help you get there. So let's build a schedule that works with your current natural flow of life and write down all the things that you already do. So business, things you already do, and personal. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the things that we need to be doing every single week in our business. There's probably a bunch of stuff that you avoid like the plague. You run from it and you don't do it. So the next column over, about 3 space columns over. So column A is probably all of the things you already do. And then you leave column B and C kind of open and blank because you're going to put down when you already do them in column B. So column C will be a blank. Column D is where we're starting now. And these are things that you really need to be doing in your business. You probably should be every single morning, not every single week or every single month, establishing a budget and checking to see where you are. You probably should be, well, you need to be. You need to know if you're profitable or not. If the products that you're actually selling are profitable. If the products that you're selling are actually making you money. If they're not profitable and you're just ignoring that, or you're just kind of eyeballing it and spitballing it, it feels like I'm making money. I see some sales, okay, but you're not really looking at the data, digging in there, making long-term bigger picture. If you start getting focused in your business and you actually look at the data every day, you will make better data driven decisions about the inventory that you list or source. But if you're just spitballing it and saying, well, I'm just going to see what happens over the next 3 months, then, you're not really, you're guesstimating. So our goal is to actually make better data driven decisions in our business. Our goal is to take intentional action on a regular basis in our business that's really going to move the needle and help us get closer to that $1 million seller status. So, what are the things that you need to be doing in your business? I can tell you most of the time, the things that people need to be doing are the things they're not doing. They're not going through and doing the analysis of where they are. They're not tracking their stats every single day. If you grab the My Ecom Planner, you'll be able to track your daily stats on the number of listings that you created, how many sales you've had, the number of products that you the number of new listings that you put up each day, the listings that you rework, your ads that you create, promotion, sales, all of that data you can track on a daily basis. That kind of information, you'll be able to see where you are in your business every single day, and it will help you to make better data driven decisions. But if you're just running from it, you're never going to be able to do that. So, what are the things you feel like you need to be doing in your business? And that's where you're going to put that information under column D. What do you need to be doing that you're running from? So maybe one of the things you need to be doing is you need to be the platform that you sell on, or maybe the e-commerce method that you engage in. You really need to be creating listings every single day. I can tell you right now, there are platforms that really reward sellers who create listings every single day. Etsy is one of those platforms that if you create listings every single day, you actually have a better chance of getting more traction in your business. eBay is one of those platforms that if you create listings every single day, you have a better chance of getting traction on your listings. Again, there are platforms that reward consistent behavior based on the platform algorithm, but you probably have not ever paid attention to that. And maybe you knew that, but you're just not being consistent. So maybe one of the things you need to be doing every single day is creating listings every day. Okay. So think about all the things you need to be doing in your business. Should you be checking if you have an integration or automated shipping? Should you be checking your listings every single day? Is that something you need to be doing? Well, if the shipments don't go out, there's nothing like 2 weeks later getting a request for a refund or getting a whole bunch of chargebacks and you're trying to figure out what happened because you're not paying attention to what's happening in your business. So that should probably be something on your need to be doing. You should be need to be looking at what's happening with the shipments. Are they going out or are they not going out? Okay. That's something you need to know because that means you get to keep the money if the shipments are going out. If the shipments are not going out, you don't get to keep the money. And so you shouldn't be reacting to these things when the shipments are not going out. You should know before the customer contacts you, hey, there is something happening with my fulfillment center. Hey, there is something happening with this integration. It's not giving me a tracking number for this product that this customer just bought. It shouldn't be a surprise. It shouldn't be an accident. You shouldn't be getting a notification 2 weeks later and then me trying to deal with it. Now, you should have already known that. So again, are there things that you need to be doing in your business that you're really just not doing? And put those in the column D. All right. We're going to leave us 2 spaces. So column D, E, and F. Put your need in column D, and then E and F we're going to leave blank. Now we're going to go E, F, G. G, column G, is things that you should or want to be doing. So there's probably some things that you want to be doing in your business, but you're just not, or you're not doing them consistently. Or, maybe it's something that's new that you really want to start doing, that you're really interested in engaging in. So an example of things that maybe you want to start doing in your business is maybe you want to try drop shipping, or maybe you want to try print on demand. Maybe you want to try sourcing from a different supplier instead of sourcing from China. Maybe you want to start sourcing in the US. Maybe you want to start learning about, I don't know, how to create Facebook ads, Instagram ads. These are things maybe that you want to start doing in your business. Okay, put that in column G. Write down, go down the list. You're doing a brain dump here. So what are all the things that you want to start doing? Okay. Maybe you have a budget that you're creating and you're creating it once a week, no, sorry, once a month. And maybe you want to establish a weekly budget because you like to run ads. So instead of creating a monthly budget, maybe you want to create a weekly budget, or maybe you already have a weekly budget and you want to start creating a daily budget. So it's something you're already doing, you just want to do it differently. So write down all the things you want to start doing. So now that you've got these columns, you've got a column of things that you already doing your business, which is great. These are things that we're going to try, we're going to work to keep into our schedule, our template. Then you got the list of things that you need to start doing in your business. Things that maybe you're avoiding like the plague, like running your month end reports, reconciling your taxes, going through and doing your inventory audit on expired products, like all that stuff that you're really not doing and you need to be doing in your business because it's going to make a difference. Because at this point, you're just reacting to when things happen in your business instead of actually planning and making intentional decisions. And then last but not least, things that you want to start doing. Maybe these are adjustments you want to make in your business or things you feel like you could do better. Maybe you want to start creating listings every single day instead of 3 times a week. Maybe you want to start sending shipments off to your fulfillment center or 3PL or to Amazon or to Walmart fulfillment services every single day or, twice a week instead of what you're doing right now, which is once every 2 weeks. So this is something you want to start doing in your business. So this dump is going to take you a little bit of time because it's forcing you to think about your business. And also, I want you to also think about your life while you're at it, because we're going to throw some of your life stuff in there. So once you do the business part of it, then throw in the things that you want to do in your life or you should be doing in your life or you need to be doing in your life. So maybe one of the things you don't do is that you sit in front of your desk all day and you don't get up and move around enough. You don't drink enough water. That's something that you really need to be doing because the statistics around people who are in sedentary positions or sedentary jobs are really bad. They're deadly. People get blood clots, they don't realize it, they shorten the life expectancy, all of these things. So maybe one of the things you want to put down that under your want column is that you want to take a 5-minute break every single day and maybe just go outside, walk around the block and come back. Or maybe you want to take a 5-minute break and walk into the kitchen and come back or go to the living room, like somewhere where you just moving a little bit so you can get the blood circulation in your body. And also maybe one of the things you're not doing is drinking enough water, or maybe you're not, maybe you have diabetes type 2, whatever, and you're not making sure that you are eating something in a timely manner, eating the right things instead of snacking on crap. So maybe one of the things you want to do in your life is maybe do some meal planning so that way you can make better food choices while you're working in your business at home. So include all of those things. Maybe you want to spend more time with your kids. Be intentional about these things. Write down the things you want to do in your life. So, and maybe, you're not reading your Bible every day, and that's something you really want to incorporate into your life. So we want to long-term build a schedule, build a goal, a target schedule that is going to actually improve our life and serve us well long-term. If these are things that you know that will help you as an individual and also as a business owner long-term, then do that. So I want you to write all those things down. You got 3 different columns now. You've now incorporated your business and you incorporated your personal life. So as we go through those activities that are related to your business, again, I talked about sourcing activities. Those sourcing activities, I'm just going to give you a brain dump. I'm going to run through them really quick. So planning where you're sourcing at least 2 to 20 weeks in advance. A lot of people don't think about that. I actually source 2 to 36 weeks in advance. Why do I do that? Because again, right now, sometimes we're getting our inventory from across the ocean. And so it may take a little while for that inventory to get here, to get checked in and get to where we need it to be so we can ship it to our fulfillment centers in enough time for those listings to actually take hold, to be beneficial. An example would be Mother's Day. You don't order inventory on Mother's Day for Mother's Day. That's not what you do. You order inventory for Mother's Day way in advance. Those listings go up. They can go up in January or February. So again, so you're preparing for Mother's Day. You don't throw up listings for Father's Day on Father's Day or Easter on Easter. You put those listings up way in advance, anywhere from 4 weeks to 6 weeks to 8 weeks to 12 weeks to however many weeks. You got to make sure you have the inventory in some cases Some cases, maybe not. Depends on your method of e-commerce. But again, this is something that you're doing in advance. So if right now you feel like, I probably could have gotten more sales for Mother's Day if I had only ordered my inventory in December instead of ordering it in March. Let's put that on your list of things that you feel like I need to order. I should put it on your should column or want to start doing. I should be ordering my inventory at least an additional 4 to 6 weeks in advance than what I'm already doing. So put that on your list. That's a decision that we're making. And over time, we're going to take all these little incremental things that we want to implement into our business, small, tiny shifts. These little decisions long term are going to impact our business. So your Mother's Day sales this year may have been, I don't know, $10,000. But next year, because you took intentional steps in advance to make decisions on the things that you're going to source and where you're going to source it from, when the inventory is going to come in, when it's going to be checked in, when you're going to put the listings up, you're making those decisions now, the next year your sales could triple because of that slight shift, that small decision that you made. It's a game changer. It really is. All right. So sourcing in advance, that's one thing. And when you talk about sourcing related activities, upcoming holidays, events, seasons, I'll think about all of those. So we are, officially summer, I think is the date is like June the 20th or something like that. I got to go look. You can go look. But the first day of summer, it feels like we're already in summer because I'm in Texas. So it already feels like we're in summer. But the point is, the first day of summer. So going through and thinking about those types of things. I source for the fall in the summer. Correct? I source for the fall and the spring, if you want to be honest about it. And I list in the summer for the fall. So that means I will start creating listings for the fall in June. Most people don't even think about that. You can even save them as a template, something to think about. Save them as a draft. Okay. So then you got replenishables and consumables. What are those things that I could potentially be sourcing that people are going to buy over and over again, or that are going to be in hot demand? I mean, we're going into the summer. People are going to be wanting outside parties, get-togethers, family reunions, weddings, birthdays, little shindigs, get together for the 4th of July, go on vacation, all these little things. All of these are things that we may not be actively thinking about, okay? That are opportunities to actually increase our sales just a little bit. Even if we're selling private label products, what are those things that could be a complementary product to our current private label product that can actually help us to get more sales because we're thinking in a different mindset, all right? You got wholesale drop shipping opportunities. What are those? I can tell you right now, liquidation pallets are just a huge thing. They've been a huge thing for a little bit, and I think they're going to be a huge thing going forward. So there's opportunity there. People may not be thinking about it as much. There's also probably going to be like a lot of inventory that may get flooded into the market on the closeout thing, which is, more liquidation, but those closeout stores. So having the opportunity to go back and look at that as well. And then private label and white label opportunities, I mentioned that. So that's around sourcing. All right, so let's talk about research activities. So that's product research, listing research, keyword research. Again, what is your method of process of doing any of these things? Do you even have a process? So maybe that's on your should or want to do, is that I really would like to have an official process on how I do product research. I really want to get better at keyword research. So put that on the list. I want to get better at keyword research. Goes in the one column, column G. I want to get better at that. So write that down if that's one of the things you want to do. If you want to get better at listing research, improving your listing research is going to help you with optimizing your listings, being found organically in the search engines. That's probably something I want to start doing, is I really want to get better at creating better listings. So again, putting that on your list. Listing related activities. Okay, so right now, maybe you suck at creating titles. Maybe you're challenged at creating your titles, or maybe you suck at creating descriptions. You always get a boatload of questions from customers. And so it's like, I guess I kind of just haphazardly create my listings and I don't really think about all the potential things that should be included in the product description. So therefore I get a boatload of questions. Like thinking through, why am I getting this question from this customer? What could I have done differently with that listing so that I could get less questions from my customers? Something to think about. And what could I have done to the listing to make it more enticing so I can get more sales if people find it? Also, your images, your photos. Again, we're in a digital world. People are buying things from their mobile devices. How enticing are your images? How enticing are your photos? If they're not that enticing, you're not going to get the traffic you want to get. So, looking at your price, am I priced competitively? Am I not? Are you a person that just kind of ballparks it? Or are you really thinking about it and doing some analysis? If doing analysis, one of the things you don't do, that might be something that you want to put down. Cross listing. Maybe you're not taking the opportunity to take your listings and list them across platforms. That could be something you could be doing to improve your business and to help you reach your goals. Again, all these little these are incremental things that you could be doing that could actually change your business long term, help you to get more sales, help you to make more money. Okay. And listing on multi-channel and creating a marketing video. Sometimes creating a marketing video for your products can actually change your business. It doesn't have to be a full-fledged video where you record with a camcorder or get it professionally done or whatever. It could just be taking stills and turning that into a video image that makes your listing just kind of stand out a little bit more than others. Okay. It could be that you record a little demonstration. You don't have to show your face. You just use your hands or your body, or just take a still and go around with your phone around a circle of focusing on your product, and just adding that one little video to your listing could change everything. Almost every platform today allows you to insert videos. People are not taking advantage of that. We are visual creatures. We're visual creatures. So why would you not take advantage of potentially using video? That's the reason why some of these people are crushing it on TikTok. They're killing it with TikTok. So again, listing activities. Think about your already do column. Think about your need to start doing column, and think about want or should be doing column. Where does this fit? All right. Shipping related activities, FBA, WFS, Walmart. So FBA is fulfillment by Amazon. And then WFS is Walmart Fulfillment Services. If you're using any one of those platforms, you're selling on those platforms. Are you utilizing that? Now, I can tell you, most people are running away from FBA because Amazon is just all over the scoreboard for the last several years and changing their storage fees. So I get it. It's okay. But that doesn't mean that you have to run away from doing FBA type of selling. You could use a fulfillment center. You could go to Deliver. You can go to ShipBob. You can use something else other than Amazon that is maybe not going to charge you as much. You want to do your own research though. Okay. So, and could you be sending your stuff to a fulfillment center so you can remain hands off from the inventory? That's a possibility, but you've never explored it. So that's something you want to put on the should or want to start doing. Like, I want to start being hands off with my inventory. Okay. Or seller fulfilled. Maybe you're doing seller fulfilled right now, but you're only fulfilling orders on Mondays and Wednesdays. And you feel like I should be fulfilling orders maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, something like that. You can decide how you want to do it. Maybe you want to hire a high schooler over the summer that's going to work with you and through the fall, which is what I used to do. When I first started on this journey, is I would hire high schoolers in the summer, would train them in the summer, and I would use them to help me in my business in the fall. So I would train them to get familiar with it, help me with shipments and things like that, help me with getting my orders shipped off to Amazon. And then they would stay on with me at least through December, so that way they can help me through Q4, and they were already trained. I wasn't trying to train anybody in the middle of Q4. That's too much work. So again, using that strategy of hiring them in the summer. That's one of my strategies that I use. So that way, because I was a solopreneur, I was doing it on my own, then I didn't have to be stressed out about trying to do this stuff all by myself and trying to manage my 2 special needs kids at the same time. It's just not something that was just possible. Okay. Confirming your shipments or auditing your shipments I can enunciate words. I mentioned that before. Sometimes we don't take the opportunity to go through the process of checking our automated processes. We just assume that they're running just fine. They're perfect. There's no problem there. And we ignore potentially red flags. I will tell you, sometimes you're working with fulfillment services, or maybe you're working with a specific supplier, and they have been clipping along for like a year just fine. And then something happens to them. And so there's a bump in the road. So an example would be, COVID. A lot of people who had fulfillment services that they've been working with for years actually experienced a significant number of problems. Well, COVID will do that. So again, assuming that everything is going right, and then finding out the hard way where your customers are contacting you saying, it's been 6 weeks and I haven't received my product. And you're just like, oh, wait a minute. And you've never been paying attention because it's been on autopilot for you. So you just set it and forget it and walk away. Again, you should always be paying attention to what happens in your business. I did a talk, we do these daily e-com planning sessions. And one of the things that I did on Monday, I think it was Monday, I talked about the productivity hacks of Tiffany Haddish. Loved it. Her biggest productivity hack that she does is she looks at her bank account every morning. She's not the only person. There's a lot of e-commerce individuals have different types of businesses that do that same hack. It gives them a gauge of what's happening in their life, and it also will give them a warning sign of when things may not be going as expected. First thing she does before she turns on her do not disturb on her phone so that she can spend the first couple of hours or first hour or so of her day not engaged in social media or anything else and being disturbed, so she can focus and meditate and visualize her day and plan her day. And the next thing is she checks her bank account. So you'll know immediately if there's a problem to some extent. If you have an average, something to gauge. But if you don't have anything to gauge, it's a habit that starts now. And then you can gradually watch the numbers improve as you make slight, tiny, incremental changes and decisions in your business. Okay, so now we're going to move on to administrative activities. This is where I feel like people just take a left turn at Albuquerque or they fall off the face of the earth. And these are things that can actually really change everything about their business. So the first thing is running platform reports. There are some people, they run 2 reports, that's it. They don't run any other reports based on their platform. Not every platform has a boatload of report options, but there are reports that are created for a reason. They're just not there for the sake of having extra reports. Sometimes those reports can actually help you improve your business stats, but you haven't even taken the time to even learn what they are. Okay, so putting that on your list of maybe under your should column, column G, these are the things you should be doing. You need to learn what the reports are and what they contain and how you can use that to your benefit. Okay, so running platform, maybe you're not running them at all and it's something you need to be doing. Maybe you've never run a platform report unless it was Q4, or you just download the data so that your accountant can have it. And that's it. And you never really looked at them. Okay, your call. I would put that under the need to be doing column. The next one is filing taxes. Maybe you're running from that. Maybe you're not doing it. Maybe you're not reconciling. Maybe you're whatever. So you need to be making sure you're doing your monthlies, your quarterlies, whatever it is. Different states have different requirements. And so, you should be filing those taxes, pulling that data together for your accountant or pulling that data together for yourself. So probably some stuff that should start going into your either should column or need to start doing column. Bank reconciliation, account reconciliation, reconciling your account on the platform which you sell, and also reconciling the transactions on your bank. If you're not a person that's good at budgeting, this might be an area of opportunity. Now, I'm not saying everything I've listed here or that I'm saying out loud, you have to do. Some aspects of the things that I'm talking about, maybe you hire an expert or a specialist in that area to do that if you have the capital or the bandwidth to be able to do that. If you don't have the money to do it, then you need to make sure, when we build this schedule, we're going to carve out a little bit of time to work on these things. It could be 15 minutes a week. It could be 30 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be 5 minutes a day. It depends on what the activity is, but we're going to make time for these things. So we make intentional decisions, and take steps to make time for these things. So you may not be doing all these things. You may not be creating all your listings yourself. You may ultimately use software to do that. You may have a VA that does some of your product research for you, and then your job is just to review it. So again, I'm not saying you have to do all these things yourself. Long-term, bigger picture, you may use processes, services, different tools to be able to do these things, but they need to be done, period. These are things that should be happening in your business already. And if they're not, I want you to step back and I want you to think about what are you doing if you're not doing these things in your business. This is not new information. This is stuff that people that are truly running a business, whether it's a brick and mortar or an online business, should be engaging in their business. So these are not surprise activities. So if you've not thought about them before, this may be an eye-opening event for you. And I'm sorry, but write this stuff down and come back and revisit it later. I'm not trying to paralyze you. I'm not trying to overwhelm you. I am just trying to say, look, these are things you should be considering doing in your business. And as a solopreneur, when you first start on your journey, yes, you might be doing all of these things by yourself, but that doesn't mean you're going to continue to do them all by yourself. So we're going to make time as a solopreneur early in the journey for each one of these individual things. We can tackle them 5 minutes at a time, sometimes 10, 15 minutes at a time. It's okay. Don't get paralyzed by this list that I'm running off. Just embrace the fact that these are activities that an entrepreneur should be doing in their e-commerce business. And then eventually you'll start to piece out what you can do and what others will be doing for you. Okay? So, not trying to overwhelm you. I'm going to keep going. So, we've got balancing your budget, something you should be doing. You really should be balancing your budget. Because, and here's the deal, you do have a budget. You're acquiring inventory from somewhere. Even if you're doing print on demand, which doesn't require you to have the money available at the time that, like, you can put the listings up depending on the platform and may not pay any fees. But eventually, when that item sells, you're going to have to deal with that. So you should have some money set aside for that action or activity. So regardless of your e-commerce method, there is a budget that should be established. I'm going to set aside $100 a week for this. Okay. Doesn't have to be a crazy amount. Doesn't have to be $5,000. Depends on your e-commerce method and what makes logical sense. Okay. Then you've got tracking your expenses and tracking your receipts. Maybe you're not doing that right now. Maybe you need to engage in doing that. I'll give you a quick hack. So one of the hacks that I use, and I still use it to this day, is that when I'm engaging in retail arbitrage, because I still do them all. So I do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, drop shipping, print on demand, and private and white label, all of those things. So when I go out and do retail arbitrage, when I buy something, I take a pic, I write on the receipt at that time, and then I take a picture of that receipt, I email it to an account that I've created, a Gmail account called NicoleTax@gmail.com, and I forward it over there. Okay. Then when I download reports from my different platforms, I email those reports to myself to NicoleTax@gmail.com. When I place orders from wholesale suppliers or I get sales for my print on demand business or whatever the case may be, I forward all those invoices or purchase orders over to NicoleTax@gmail.com. Every time I order new inventory or supplies to work in my business, whatever type of supplies they are, whether it's tape or whether it's labels or whatever it happens to be, I forward those receipts or those invoices to NicoleTax@gmail.com. At the end of a month, what is sitting in NicoleTax@gmail.com? And I download my bank reports, all of my bank expenses, and I forward it to NicoleTax@gmail.com. At the end of the month, everything that I've done in my business is in NicoleTax@gmail.com. And so then that way I can just give my accountant the login ID and password to NicoleTax@gmail.com, and they can begin the process of reconciling everything. In addition to that, you've got QuickBooks. There's some features and functionality that's in that. So maybe on your list of things to do under the should column is I should learn what's happening in QuickBooks. I should learn how to use QuickBooks a little more efficiently. These are things that you can put in the should column. All right. Then we've got inventory, ordering inventory, or is that an activity that you should be doing in your business under administrative activities, checking expiration dates, auditing inventory, creating standard operating procedures. If you plan on outsourcing to a VA, you really should be documenting the things that are happening in your business so you can stop doing them and transition that over to a VA, a virtual assistant, or an assistant to be able to do that action for you, to replicate you, so you can free up that time. If you hire a virtual assistant or an assistant, and they can maybe do 5 hours worth of work as you in a day or 5 hours worth of work as you in a week, that means you freed up 5 hours to go focus on something else that maybe will move the needle more in your business. So you're freeing up your time, you're duplicating yourself, and that's what you ultimately want to do. Reviewing or adjusting prices. There's a lot of repricer tools out there. You could use those instead, but initially you may not have the capital or the money. If you're not profitable initially, Don't go sign up for all these subscription services where, oh, okay, you got a repricer tool, you got a product research tool, you got all these other tools. And then at the end of the month, you're going, I'm not making any money, I'm losing money. Well, heck yeah, because you are bought all this software and you're not into profit. It is the rule of thumb, profit first. Okay, you got to profit first, siphon off some of the money so that you have money to cover those monthly subscriptions. Don't go sign up for all these monthly subscriptions. You need to learn how to do the business first without the software. The software will help you get better at it and it will make things faster, but don't go do that at first. You'll go broke if you invest in software the whole time. You're just gonna go broke. And then the next thing is analyzing the data and reviewing your stats. If you're not analyzing the data and reviewing the stats on a regular basis, probably something you should be doing. So I named a bunch of stuff and I could go on and on under administrative activities, but I feel like this is one of the areas where sellers break down and they either don't make good data-driven decisions because they're not engaging in these activities, or they quit. One of the two. And so those who are in it to win it and been doing it for a little while, I'm not going to say that they master the art of everything that I just listed, but they do understand the importance of those things and recognize that they should be doing some form of them, whether they're doing them themselves or somebody else is doing them for them. So I hope all that makes sense. Now I'm going to go through customer service related activities. So customer service related activities, handling questions should be a basic. So maybe it's under your should column or something you already do. Maybe you're already good at that, and that's fine. Celebrate that. Handling returns, refunds, and reviews. So maybe that's not something you have mastered the art of, dealing with refunds or returns. Maybe you don't even have a refund policy. You probably should have one. It's part of your business operating procedure. Like you should have a business plan that outlines that. Next is education. So I feel like administrative activities and education activities are the biggest opportunities for sellers. I feel like most sellers have some level of a game plan on sourcing. They have some level of a game plan on research. They have some game plan on listing and shipping, but they don't really have a really good game plan on their administrative activities, and they don't really have a good game plan on their education activities. So why do I say education is like the second biggest? And I'm not saying spend a whole bunch of time on education. You really should not spend more than 1 to 2 hours a week on education. But here's the deal. Let me paint a quick picture for you. What if you decided, I need to get better at product research? Okay. So you made a decision that you want to get better at product research. What if you spent the entire month of June, 1 hour every single week, focusing only on the art of product research? So that's 4 hours in the month. But the great thing about that is if you spent, because it's 4 weeks in the month of June, sorry. But the great thing about that is that if you invest 1 hour every single week, then you can apply what you learned in that learning session, that education session. You can apply that throughout the week because you're going to have product research activities sprinkled in your schedule throughout the week. So if you're doing product research on Tuesdays and Thursdays, whatever you learned on Sunday, let's say you're doing your product research training on Sunday, you can apply it on Tuesday and Thursday. The sad reality is that when people sign up for trainings, what they do is when they sign up for the training, they go through the process of watching a video and then they don't do anything with it. They don't immediately apply what they learned. You have to immediately apply what you learned. If you don't, then what was the point? What's the point? You're going to lose that information. It's like riding a bicycle, learning how to ride a bicycle, or maybe there's a difference between watching a video on learning how to ride a bicycle. You can watch the video, or learning how to fly a plane. You can watch as many videos as you want to. You can go through as many simulators as you want to. But until you actually do it, that's when everything changes. So I can watch all these videos about how to do resale arbitrage, how to do private label, how to do drop shipping, how to whatever. And until I actually do the activity, it's all for none. You're just watching videos. You might as well be sitting down with a bucket of popcorn, watching some movie, watching Batman or Thor, or Lord of Thunder, whatever, Love and Thunder, whatever the movie is that's coming out. Like, that's what you might as well be doing, because you're not doing anything with it. You're not learning anything from it, and it's not going to change anything about your business if you don't apply it. So instead of just sitting back, let's make the intentional decision. I'm going to focus on a thing in my business, one thing that's going to change the trajectory of my business in Q4. So June, we focus on product research, 1 hour a week, every single week on product research. We apply it during the week. Now, if I compare my stats of June 2021 to June of 2022, what do you think has happened? Somehow my business has improved. I went from $10,000 in sales to $20,000 in sales. I wonder what happened. Well, there must have been more buyers. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. It's not accidental. That wasn't accidental. Then let's take it a step further. Let's say in the month of July, I am going to focus on keyword research. So I'm going to spend 1 hour a week getting better at keyword research. That's it. That's 4 times in the month of July. And I'm applying it throughout the weeks, every single week. So now I spent product research in June, keyword research in July. What's going to happen to my business? If I compare my stats July over 2021 to 2022, my business is what? Getting better. How is that possible? I don't know. Somehow I'm getting better at this thing. I'm getting more sales. People are finding me a little bit better. I'm getting organic sales. I can run less ads. What? That's not accidental. So we go into August. What if you spent the month of August getting better at Facebook and Instagram ads? 1 hour a week, every single week for 4 weeks. And you apply that to running your ads. Now what's happened to your business? Is it Christmas in August? Like my sales are like ridiculous. They're like, it's Q4. What is happening? It is because of all the incremental decisions and the incremental learning you've been doing over the last 3 months that has changed your business. You are so much closer to being that $1 million seller you've always wanted to be, and you're trying to figure out how you got here. All of it matters. So then if you compare your sales from 2021 in August to 2022 in August, you're like, geez, like my sales have doubled at this point. They've doubled. I went from making $25,000 in August of 2021 to $50,000 or $60,000 or $70,000. I'm not really sure what's happening here. I'm running out of inventory. My stuff is no longer sitting on the shelves. Hey, look, I might be making better data-driven decisions. I don't know. So we get into September. In September, maybe that is the one thing that you decide to do. You've gone through and do product research better, so you've gotten better at that. Maybe you focus on sourcing in September. Maybe you focus on Google Ads. Maybe you focus on taking better pictures. Whatever it is, you decide what's going to happen in Q4 as you step into October, November, December. Everything that you did June, July, August, and September have now been applied to your October. And you go from having whatever your Q4 was last year, let's say your sales were $50,000 or $100,000, and you're trying to figure out, how did I make $500,000 in Q4? I don't understand how I did it. It was all the little incremental decisions that you made to get better at different things in your business, and you did it over time, and you immediately applied it once you learned it, and now you have your business looks different. You now have to hire staff. You have permanent staff. You have enough money. You made enough money that you could hire them. You could pay for their salary for the entire year. Okay? Because of the incremental decisions that you made over time. That's how education can change your business. I'm not talking about sitting up there watching YouTube videos and watching hours and hours of YouTube videos. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about and wasting your time on YouTube videos. I am talking about little incremental changes. So you can now take that training that you bought maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, 5 months ago, and you can apply it now to what is happening today and start watching that investment and not have to buy more training videos. Okay? So it kind of changes everything for you. So use education to help you to get there. And then last but not least, marketing and traffic activities. So maybe right now in your marketing and traffic activities, you're not running your listings through Pingler and Ping Farm so you can get more organic search, come up in the organic searches. Maybe that's something that goes under your should column. Okay. Social sharing or creating a blog, that might be beneficial depending on what it is that you're selling. You might go Google to see if there are any blogs about the products that you're selling already. And if there are, you might want to take a hint. If there's a whole bunch of blogs, you might want to take a hint that it might behoove you to create a blog on your particular product. Paid ads and campaigns, maybe that's not your jam right now. Maybe that's one of the things that you put down that you want to start getting better at is paid ads and campaigns. Email marketing, video marketing, maybe you're not doing that right now. That's something you want to put under your should column. Or maybe you're already doing it, but you feel like you're not doing it well. So you can throw that back into the education bucket so you can get better at it. Okay. Optimizing your listings. So again, going back to the keyword research and titling and descriptions and pictures, naming your images, all of that stuff. Engaging or partnering with influencers, that may be a possibility. Have you even done that? Is that something that you want to put on your want list? And creating campaigns, coupons, and sales, that might be on your list of things that you want to start doing. So go through the process and make sure you fill in your already do, your should do, and your need to do columns effectively. Once you have done that, you have a really good idea of what you need to be doing, maybe as you build this template out, and when you're going to do what you're going to do in your business. So the first one would be take that brain dump and write down which day of the things that you already do. Write down the day of the week that which you already do those. And if there's a specific time that you normally do that, put that next to it. Because remember, we made two blank columns on each side of your already do, need to do, and should do. You should have two columns next to it. Okay. So do that. And then the next thing is we're going to organize that brain dump by morning, afternoon, and evening, or by time. So if you do product research normally in the mornings, that's fine. Is there a certain time of day? Like, do you try to get up and do that at 9 o'clock in the morning? That's fine. Put that down. Is it the afternoons that you normally do it? Or do you normally do listings in the evening? So when do you normally already do some of these things? And then think about the rest of your day and where you can slide in these different activities, where you will put them. Okay. Once you think about the rest of your day, I want you to also be thinking about the way that we establish goals, long-term, bigger picture, because we're going to establish some goals for the week. What are the priorities for this week that's coming up? So, there are goals that we have, many goals, many habits. These are things that are simple goals. Well, not really simple goals. They may be more complex goals, but the way that you implement or execute them may be simplistic. So I'll give you two different examples. Maybe right now you're creating listings and it's taking you forever. You spend 1 hour creating one listing and you want to get better at it. And so maybe so you feel like you need to be creating 5 listings a day. And that's the thing that you want to build. That's where you want to go. I want to build a habit of creating 5 listings a day. So the first thing is to start off easy, and let's just say we're going to create 1 listing a day, every single day for 2 weeks. As we are going through creating the listing, 1 listing every single day for 2 weeks, that feels like that's something that's potentially attainable, even if it's taking you a long time. Now, while we are in this 1 listing a day for 2 weeks, we're going to go through the process of looking at habit stacking or looking at our routines. Is there potentially an opportunity in habit stacking or looking at our routines that we can come back and dissect what's happening when we're creating listings? Lay out those actions or activities to evaluate why is it taking me 1 hour to create 1 listing? And we can incrementally improve or fix each one of those individual action steps that are associated with creating a listing. Maybe your problem is that you stop every single time you're about to do an action. So the first thing is you sit down in front of your computer and you are logging in, and you're going to go in and create listing, and you have to go stop, do keyword research to figure out what you're going to be doing for your title. Is there something you can do to fix that? Okay. So then now you've got your title. Then you go to your description. And so you have to stop and go do some research to figure out what you're going to put in your description and what other keywords you have to put in there. So now you've stopped twice. And then you go through, and the next thing is that you're going to upload your images. Well, maybe you stop and you have to take the pictures. Then you have to stop and clean the pictures up. Then you have to stop and rename the images. And then you have to stop and upload the images. So there's like 4 stops in that alone. Is there something you can do to improve that process? Think about it. Then the next thing is figuring out the price, maybe. So you got to stop, go do some quick preliminary research on what is the pricing for this particular product. And then you continue on and you got to figure out how you're going to ship it. So is it oversized? Is it small enough? How am I going to ship this? Am I doing USPS, priority mail? Am I doing something else? Okay, so I may have to stop, figure out what size package can this thing fit in, and what are my estimated shipping costs. So now I've probably stopped about 8 or 9 times, 9 times, I think, maybe at this point, and just to create a listing. Well, that's the reason why it's taking you an hour. There are opportunities probably somewhere, maybe even at the beginning, you did retail arbitrage, so the package, the inventory that you bought is not even in the same room, it's somewhere else. So you got to go get it to even bring it into the rooms. You got to stop before you even get started. So my point is, the next part of this, the habit is I want to build is that I want to create 5 listings, but it's just taking me forever, and I don't have 5 hours to create 5 listings. So the next one is habit stacking, looking at things that logically, sequentially, go in sequential, things that you're naturally, organically going to be doing as part of a process, and evaluating each one of those steps to see what you can improve to make it go faster. So there's probably opportunities if you're doing retail arbitrage, once you come in with your stuff, maybe you decide to clean up your packages or whatever products that you buy. Then you take the pictures, then you rename the images, then and you upload them then after you buy them once you come in the house, and you put them all in one place. Maybe you decide that on the time during that window that you have slated for product research, you have your stack of all your products that you plan on listing, and you're going to go ahead and do your keyword research right after you do your product research, and do keyword research for each one of those products. So that way that's already done. You can put a sticky on there. The other thing that you might want to do is, maybe you have a template or you have your VA go and get the descriptions of other products that are similar to the ones that you've already taken pictures of. So I'll go ask them to go get descriptions for you. So now you have that basis, and they can also grab the pricing for some of those products. That saves you on product research. It could be that you use an app for this. Okay, there could be apps out there that help you with creating listings much faster. So again, things that you can long term do to improve that entire sequence of activities or events. And that is like habit stacking or routines, dissecting your routines so that you will have the capacity to be able to engage in that habit and do it more frequently. So if you start off with habit stacking, something you can do that's easy to attain, easy to do, and then you build up from creating 1 listing a week to next week, maybe your target is 2 listings for 2 weeks, and then 3 listings for 2 weeks, and then 4 listings for 2 weeks. And now you're at 5 listings, and now you've established a habit. In the process, you've also dissected the action steps that are associated with creating the listings. So now you've gone and engaged in looking at your habit stacking, things that make sense, that go together, that all are related to the action or activity, the end goal, the end game. And then time blocks, reserving time, dedicated time to engage in those activities. Again, setting aside those time blocks to do those activities. You may also have checklists that maybe you're a person that you don't like to use time blocks and have dedicated time to do things. Maybe you prefer just to live your life using checklists, and that is something that works for you. It may help you with gaining momentum, feeling like you've accomplished something in the day, and that's fine. Checking things off the list can be satisfying. It actually makes you feel like you're making progress on your journey. And then you may also need to establish some SMART goals around some of the things that you're doing. So maybe your SMART goals are something that is specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, realistic or relevant, timely or time bound. Those are all SMART goals. That's the acronym. And so if one of your goals is to become $1 million seller, what's the SMART goal you can build around that? The SMART goal that you might actually build around that is saying, okay, taking that $1 million number and dividing it by the remaining number of quarters in the year, the remaining number of months in the year, the remaining number of weeks in the year, and the remaining number of days in the year. That is going to get you to what is your daily goal that you're shooting for in sales, what's your weekly goal, what's your monthly goal, and so on and so forth. So SMART goals are extremely important on this journey. And those are all things that you're going to be thinking about as you build out your routine. Okay. So now that we've kind of done the brain dump, and we've also started assigning days and potentially times to, or time of day, to this massive brain dump, Now we're going to organize it so that we can actually build a schedule. So tab 2 of your Google Sheet, at the very bottom, there is a little plus sign of your Google Sheet, and it's to the left. So at the bottom to the left, click on the plus and it'll create Sheet 2. You can left click on Sheet 2 and rename it, and you can call it Weekly Template. You can also use in your My Ecom Planner, you can use the weekly planning section to create your weekly template. So this is what you're going to do when you're going to do it throughout the week. You're going to write out a schedule that is high level activities or actions you're going to take in your business Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you're going to say 7 a.m. I'm doing this, and 8 a.m. I'm doing this, and 9 a.m. I'm doing this, and 10 a.m. I'm doing this. Or you're going to create maybe 10 check block list things for the morning, and 10 check box things for the afternoon, and 10 check box listings for the evening. So these are the 10 things I'm going to do in the morning, afternoon, and evening. And you will sprinkle in your different activities and actions regarding your business. Again, you're not spending 18 hours of the day doing your business, or even 16. You may be working in your business 5 hours every day. You may be working in your business 8 hours every day. You may be working in your business 2 hours every day. So that's why we say make sure you're including all the other stuff that you do in your life. You may have to fix dinner for the kids, take kids to soccer practice, go to the grocery store, go check on your mom in the nursing home. Like, you could have other things that you have to do that are part of your routine or part of your life. And so we're building a schedule that works around our life. So you're going to build out that template. And after you build out the template, the next thing you're going to do, step 2 of this process, is you're going to use the template to create your actual activities. So you have your high level activities, and you're using the template to create the actual activities you're going to do in your business. So when I say that I am engaging in product research, what product research am I focusing on? If my specialty is private label for baby products, or white label for baby products, then the product research is around baby products that I can potentially sell. Maybe I'm going to focus on toddlers. Maybe I'm going to focus on clothes. Maybe I'm going to focus on, accessories for babies. Maybe I'm going to focus on socks or shoes or onesies. Maybe I'm going to focus on baby wipes or diapers. Like, I don't know. It depends. But what is the thing that I'm going to focus on? Same thing in creating listings. What are the activities? What listings am I creating this week? Well, it's June. So for me, I think this is a great time to start creating your back to school listings. You can even save them as drafts. Believe it or not, parents are going to start getting emails from the school as early as the beginning of July saying it's time to get ready to go back to school. And parents are going to be in the mindset naturally of buying school supplies or buying clothes, buying jackets, socks, hats, backpacks, shoes, underwear, shirts, pants, shorts, pencils, pens, glue, erasers, rulers, scissors. They're going to be buying these things. Things for their kids to be able to eat lunch, snacks. They're going to be thinking about stuff that go in the lunch pail. All of these things are part of this journey. So they're going to be thinking about all that. So what listings am I creating? And this is, again, part of the actual. So you take the template. You already say that you're creating listings at 9 o'clock. What listings am I creating? I'm creating back to school listings at 9 o'clock. See how I went specific there? It's not an accident. It's intentional. Okay. So you're going to get specific on every single one of these activities. If you say that you're going to engage in education, what am I going to be learning? If I am engaging in sourcing, where am I going to be sourcing? So if I say, okay, I'm doing retail arbitrage, and so I'm supposed to be sourcing on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 o'clock. Okay, where am I going at 10 o'clock? So Monday, maybe I'm going to Walmart. Tuesday, I'm going to Target. Wednesday, I'm going to Target. And Friday, I'm going to Big Lots. There you go. Where am I going? What am I doing? So you're going to be specific with the actual schedule so that it is clear on the activities and actions that are taken in your business. The other thing is that you do need to scan your monthly plan so that you know what are the goals that you established for the month of June. So that as you build out your schedule for the week, that you sprinkle in those activities, actions that you need to take that are going to help you gradually start marking off your goals on your calendar. You got 4 weeks in the month of June. So every single week you should be engaging in an activity or activities, multiples, that are going to help you mark things off of your goals list. The other thing is you need to figure out what the priorities are for this week. Sometimes the priority for the week is not business related. So if you're going on vacation next week, the following week, maybe the week that's coming up is you got to spend some time prepping for the vacation that's coming up. You got to go get the oil changed and get the tires checked. You've got to go and make sure you grab some extra snacks at Costco or Sam's Club. Make sure you get water. Make sure you pull out the suitcases out of the attic or out of the basement. You know, these may be things you have to do. Get new windshield wiper blades. I mean, like I have no idea what you're doing. Check on your tickets. Reconfirm your reservations. Like that might be the priority this week to prep for next week. It may also be a priority this week. That could be one of your priorities. And number two priority could be creating draft listings so that way while you're on vacation you can release listings from your mobile device that you didn't have to sit there and create yourself, so that you continue the habit and the routine of creating a new listing every single day on your platform. So maybe this week you create 2 draft listings every single day, so you have at least one listing to release while you're on vacation. Release every single day. So figure out what your priorities are and also figure out the habits that you're tracking. Now, any habits that you're tracking for the week are not going to be habits that are, that you're only tracking for 1 week, 7 days, because you don't build a habit in 7 days. I can tell you that. You build a habit over doing something consistently for 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, period. Some people may break it down to 45 days, doesn't matter. You're still not doing you're not building any kind of habit in 7 days. You're just doing some stuff. So if you're really wanting to build a habit, you need to make sure whatever habits you establish in June are habits that you plan on sustaining for the entire month of June. So determine what those habits are that you want to build. If the habit is to get up and walk, if the habit is to have something to drink, if the habit is to take brain breaks, if the habit is to list every single day, if the habit is to go and do a hard stop because your kids are at home and your hard stop is at 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. every single day in your business, maybe that's the habit that you're creating. Hard stop on my business at 6 p.m. It's family time. So figure out what those habits are that you're willing to sustain for the entire month of June or for 30 days at a minimum, 30 to 60, 90 days. Okay. So go through the weekly planning checklist. I literally went through the entire checklist, and you can download that from the file section from the e-commerce planning Facebook group. Go download that document, use it to help you in your business, use it to help you make data-driven decisions, use it to help you make progress in your business. You'll also see in there a template of what I've created for a person that works a 9 to 5 and they're doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and drop shipping. So it's an example template. You don't have to follow it. It's just an outline to give you some guidance on what it might look like after you build your template. And then you've got a second template that's in the downloadable document of a stay-at-home mom that does retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, print on demand, and drop shipping. And so again, it is a template. Remember, you have to fill in the actual. So once you have the template, you're going to use that template. And that template, you can have multiple versions of templates. I have a template that I use that applies to the summer. I have a template that is for when school's in session. I have a template for Q4, and I have a template for when my son is running track, when it's track season. So I have 4 different templates. Sometimes I'll create a 5th one. And so use your templates to help you make progress and make decisions in your business, and build multiples if you need to. But today you're just building one. Build one template. And then after you build your one template, use that to help you build the other templates. After you try it on, use it for a couple of weeks, make adjustments to it. And if the template works, now you can use that to create your actual schedule. What are the actual activities that you're going to engage in? What are you actually listing this week? What are you actually sourcing this week? What are you actually everything? Think about that. What is that going to do to your business when you're very specific on what you're doing? Okay. So go look at that document, and then after you look at the little templates for the schedule, you can also review the goals section and read all of the specifics on the different types of goals that you can establish in your business. Because I just went over five. There are so many other types of methods that you can implement into your business and other types of goals. So go look at that list. It's a great resource of the different types of goals that you can establish and use it to help you in your business. So I hope this information is helpful. I hope you use it on your e-commerce journey. I am going to reset the room and we are going to call it. So, my name is Nicole Whitlock and I am with Ecom Sellers. My passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey. If that's you, I am here for you. You can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session with me by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on freebies, and scheduling a free 20-minute coaching session. If you haven't already done so, I encourage you to grab the My Ecom Planner. You can get the digital version of the planner at 40% off right now. You can go to myecomplanner.com, again, myecom, E-C-O-M, planner.com to grab your digital planner. You can get the physical planner, either one. Use that to help you make decisions in your business every single day. Use that to help you take action that's going to change your business over time. Every single day, build a schedule that's going to help build your business, grow your business, scale your business over time. Okay. Or build the habit of consistency. Maybe you're just needing help with that, or you just need to get better at being organized. So use that ecom planner to help you do that. It's the ultimate e-commerce planner. It was created for sellers by sellers. And so in there, you can track everything in your daily stats. And last but not least, join Ecom Sellers Academy. I invite you to. You can join us. We offer live weekly training sessions, live weekly Q&As. You get a free retail and online arbitrage list every single week. You get a free wholesale list of 10 wholesale suppliers every single week. In addition to that, you gain access to our learning or training library of over 200 training videos. And you also gain access to our membership site and our free Facebook group. There's so many other perks, you get discounts and other things that Ecom Sellers offers. So go join Ecom Sellers Academy at www.ecomsellersacademy.com if you need some support and help on the way. And we are hosting right now a print on demand challenge where we're creating 60 listings in 60 days. We're creating one new listing every single day. That's going to help you definitely with your habit of consistency. So you can go to ecomsellersmastery.com. Again, ecomsellersmastery.com. Click on print on demand challenge. So you have to scroll down the screen to get to print on demand challenge. So scroll down the screen, click on print on demand challenge, and join the challenge right now. We're starting day 4. So that means you're still in the early stages. Come hang out with us. Let's build that habit of consistency. Let's help you build a print on demand business that is sustainable into the school year. Especially if you've got kids that are out of school right now, don't let them sit on electronics all day. And if you got kids that are out of school right now, or if you're maybe a teacher and you're off school for the summer, then use that opportunity to build a side business that'll be sustainable while school is in session. So, with that, I hope this information is a blessing to you. Please share it out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the daily, weekly, monthly ecom planning sessions and invite them to come hang out with us. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I pray that you have an immensely blessed day, an extremely blessed day, a highly profitable day, week, and an extremely productive week. With that, I'm going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.